This is Italo, Italy's luxurious privately owned high-speed train company, competing against the much older state operator Trenitalia. Italo got a fleet of two different sleek and modern high-speed trains running up and down the country, offering stunning interiors and comfortable seats. So join me on a trip from Bologna to Rome on board their slightly slower model, the Pendolino. Our journey begins from Bologna Centrale station that opened back in 1864. A lot has happened here since the opening of that station, and now it's also served by modern high-speed trains. Most of the station's shops and food outlets are actually not located in the main building, but rather on the outside in the buildings next door. And you'll see why as we head inside, because the main building is actually very undersized for how many people use this station. In the main hall, you'll pretty much only find ticket offices and ticket machines, both for Italo and Trenitalia. However, the historic part of the station, located on the surface, nowadays mostly serve regional trains. However, do make sure to check the departure board, as some high-speed trains also depart from here. However, most of the high-speed trains leave from the underground part of the station, which is located a good 5-10 minute walk away from the main entrance. So yeah, make sure to arrive here in plenty of time in order to make your train. I mean, at this point, this is basically a separate station to the one above ground. But hey, in this case, the best way to serve Bologna with high-speed trains was apparently just to make one giant tunnel under the city. And in general, most of the Italian high-speed railway network really is an impressive piece of engineering. Anyway, it's about time to board our train, so let's take the escalators the final steps down to the platforms. And here we are at the 4 underground platforms serving mostly high-speed trains at Bologna Centrale. And on the opposite track, we can see one of Italo's trains of the same model we are going to be catching, working a northbound service towards Milano. However, it will be a few more minutes before ours arrives, as it's currently stuck behind this Trenitalia Frecciarossa high-speed train of the model ETR 500, running about 10 minutes late. So we'll just have to wait for this to clear the platform. Watch one of Trenitalia's Frecciarossa 1000 trains arrive. And then our Italo train finally appears from the tunnel. This is the ETR 675, which Italo calls the EVO. They were built by Alstom as part of their new Pendolino platform and can run at speeds of up to 250 km per hour. And with departure time soon approaching, let's head on board the train. I'll be traveling in business class today, which is the second best offering on board Italo's trains. Boarding took some time, due to a lot of luggage needing to be stowed. But here we are at my business class seat for the journey down to Rome. We depart Bologna Centrale at 9:17, running 3 minutes behind schedule. And as we enter the tunnel taking us under the rest of Bologna and start our acceleration to 250 km per hour, let's take a closer look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board train 8953, which started this morning in Bolzano and has come down via Trento, Rovereto and Verona before Bologna. We join the train here and continue with one stop in Florence before arriving at the train's final destination, Rome. Bologna to Rome is a distance of 347 kilometers covered in 2 hours and 18 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 151 kilometers per hour. As most of the railway line between Bologna and Florence is in tunnels through hills and mountains with only very brief moments of scenery passing by before another tunnel starts, let's have a closer look at the seats while we're in darkness anyway. In business class, you'll find these amazing leather seats, which I think the color scheme of is really stylish. At the seat you'll find a storage pocket, as well as a footrest. You also get a large tray table, which is sturdy enough to hold a laptop. Really good. There's also a goat hook. The bin was missing, so I hope the maintenance team will fix that. Below the seat you'll find 2 power outlets as well as 2 USB ports. The seat itself is ergonomically shaped. It offers a good balance between padding and support, but it might be a little bit on the harder side. But overall, these are really good seats. And as our train is still just stuck in tunnels, we might as well just go explore the rest of the train. Starting in club class, which is the most expensive offer on board, it has similar seats to business, with just more padding and these private compartments. Behind club is where you will find business class, where I'm sitting. This is in a 1+2 layout, mostly airline style seating, but there are a few bays of 4. At the end of the carriage you'll find some luggage racks for bulky luggage. Unfortunately, there's no toilet review today, as all of them were broken basically. Both the ones by business class was locked out of use for the entire trip. The next carriage is fully dedicated to business class and has the same seats as before, so let's just skip ahead. In the third business class carriage there's also an accessible area, and at the end of that carriage you'll also find a vending machine, both one for coffee and one for snacks. Further down the train we have standard class, which Italo calls smart. It also has very comfortable seats, but of course it's a bit more tight with a 2+2 layout, mostly in airline style seating. And you might be able to see the queue of about 5 people for the toilets ahead, because so many of them were broken on today's trip. Not good. Back at my seat, after about 20 minutes of tunnels, we catch a glimpse of the scenery in this beautiful part of Italy. But it's not long after, our train will begin to slow down for our arrival into Florence. Unlike Bologna, there's no new high-speed railway under the city here, so most trains still have to go all the way into the main station using the classic lines. The main station in Florence is called Santa Maria Novella, and it's actually a stop-end terminal, meaning our train has an extended stop here in order for the train to change direction. So I took that opportunity to get off the train and have a quick stretch of my legs. And here we can also get a much better look at our stunning ETR 675 high-speed train in Italo's beautiful color scheme. And a few moments later, we are off again, now heading in the same direction we came in. Which means in order to get to Rome, we have to start a large 180-degree turn to head the right direction again. Departure out of Florence is initially also on classic lines. But it's not many minutes later, we are back on the high-speed line, accelerating towards our maximum speed. And this is also when the crew came around, offering the complimentary service in business class. On offer is a small cup of coffee or soft drink and some nuts. Which is a nice gesture on a 2-hour journey like this. One thing that's not as blazing fast as the train itself is the onboard Wi-Fi, which I couldn't even get to work, but the cell service was also quite poor, so it's probably related. But who needs Wi-Fi connection anyway, when you can just enjoy the scenery of Italy passing by on a beautiful sunny day like this? But eventually we have to slow down as we are now approaching Rome. As we run through non-stop at Tiburtina station, that means we are about 5 minutes away from Rome's main station Termini.
Siamo in arrivo nella stazione di Roma Termini, termine corsa del treno. Invitiamo i viaggiatori che devono scendere a prepararsi, avendo cura di recuperare bagagli ed effetti personali. Vi ringraziamo per aver scelto Italo e ci auguriamo di riavervi presto a bordo. Arrivederci. We are now approaching Roma Termini, final stop of the train.
So, it's time to sum up my thoughts on Italo. Their trains are modern, clean, comfortable and quiet. They get you from A to B fast, and while they're not perfect, especially in the maintenance department, as evidenced by the lack of working toilets and the missing seat bin, they more than make up for it in their fares. Regular fares in business class on this route start from as little as 25 euros if booked a bit in advance, which I think is excellent value for money. And even close to departure time, fares are often very reasonable. So, what do you think of Italo? Would you like to travel with them? Or perhaps you like Trenitalia's high-speed trains more? Let me know in the comments below. And here we are in Rome, 17 minutes behind schedule. I don't really know why, we just sat in a field somewhere a bit outside Rome, but that's Italian railways for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming on the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.